Alright, so a quick little preface for this video. It's going to be divided into 4 parts. The intro, which we're in right now, the tutorial for building the farm, the math for how we determine the efficiency of the farm, and finally, a showcase of what the complete farm looks like in our farm. So if you want to skip through to a certain part of the video, the timestamps are in the description, so yeah, let's just get right into it. You probably clicked on this video a bit confused. How could there be a farm that's almost double as efficient as a normal sugarcane farm, and how is this not something that everybody's doing? And first off, it's a bit of a weird build, at least the way we learned to do it, until I broke it down into a much easier method. Secondly, it's not a commonly used farming method, as sugarcane isn't something that people really need a lot of in vanilla worlds. And third, before we realized our blunder, we thought that the only way to cover the water for faster farming was to use lily pads, and that was a million coin mistake made by our cutest co-op member, Andrew, otherwise known as @Kohakudori on Twitter. Hopefully, some more people will start using this design since the farming update is out, and I'm going to explain how to build it a lot easier. So yeah, speaking of that, let's just get right into the build tutorial. Alright, so now that we're on a single player world, I can show you how I broke down the build. First off, pleasantries. This design was made by my other co-op member, Rossel, and you can break this build down into 4 simple steps the way I broke it down. First off is the first step. This is a 4x1 line, and it's the starting point of this farm. If you can understand directions, you should be able to make it pretty easily. So once you've got this 4x1 line made, in step 2, add another 4x1 line with the lower or first 2 blocks overlapping, such that it makes a square in the middle, essentially. In step 3, you want to keep adding 4x1 lines so that the last 2 blocks are overlapping the first 2 in the 4x1 line before it, essentially making a staircase. In step 4, you're going to add the water to the end of the 4x1 lines, to both ends, so that it essentially makes a 6x1 line with grass or sand in the middle and water at the end. I'd recommend actually leaving these spots empty when you're actually building the farm, but it's a lot easier to demonstrate how to do it with adding the water right now. So yeah. In step 5, you add more of these lines such that they start where the other 6x1 lines end, but they share the water. So it's essentially a 4x1 line, water, a 4x1 line, water, a 4x1 line, water, and then you just make the staircases such that they all overlap like this. And that's basically it for how to make the farm. In step 6, you're going to be adding the lily pads or the sugarcane, and that's basically it. So another thing I'd like to add is that if you're going to be doing this, you can always flex with the lily pad. It's a lot more economical to just use carpet. The only downside with carpet is that you're going to have to buy it from the old builder's menu. I'm going to show a screenshot of how to get that, how to buy carpet from him, or how to buy wool from him on screen. And you'll need 5,120 lily pads or 3,414 wool if you choose to use carpet. So when you're placing the carpet, you need to have 1 piece of sugarcane planted for every water block, and just do that. There is a slight view model bump when you're walking over carpet, so don't aim like directly on the sugarcane. But yeah, that's basically it for building the farm. Total material costs are really high, so use carpet if you're cheap, use lily pads if you want flex. I think it's only 20,500 coins for the carpet. That is correct. Just checked. And it's about 1.2 million off the bazaar for the lily pads. So yeah, let's get into the math. Alright, so this is the math section. Originally it was going to be just me talking about all the equations, and that was really boring. So I don't want to do that. So I made this cool little sheets calculator. You essentially just plug your island size into the island size area. You should be able to make a copy. To do that, you just go to File, Make a Copy. I think you should be able to do it. I'll have a link to this in the description. Plug in your island size, and it'll basically it'll work it out. So let's say I've upgraded my island, so I have 172. Press enter. All these numbers will change. determines the efficiency, it determines the number of water blocks you're going to need, and it determines how much of a certain block you're going to need for the build. So yeah, if you're using a base Skyblock island, you just plug in 160, and that'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know. It may get a little bit wonky if you put more numbers in, so let me know if that happens. But yeah, if you want to know how I determine the efficiency of a farm, you click on these and it'll tell you the equation I used. B6 would be, wait a second. Oh, yeah, that would be right. It's really simple. So yeah, just, links in the description. If you're interested, or if you want to know how this works, you can make a comment and I'll respond to you, because it was really fun to determine all this shit. I like math. So yeah, that's basically it. Let's get on to the showcase of our farm, and showcase of a full clearing of it. So yeah, that's all. Okay, so now we're on to the showcase. And I'm going to start out by saying this, our farm is by no means perfect. We added a couple things that toned down our production, such as a place to farm deaths, a place to warp into the farm, and an outside ring to prevent falling off. These took a bit of production off, but all in all, it's a fair trade-off, as this thing is still a complete bitch to harvest. What you're watching right now is a complete clear of the farm. This took 24 minutes. That is a long time, but it's a lot more gain compared to a normal farm. You're getting it faster than normal farms, and it's so much more efficient. Big ups to the boys, Hurlant, Russell, and Kohakudori for building this absolute beast of a farm, and thanks for watching this video. Drop a like, drop a sub, do whatever if you joined it, or are planning on building this. I guess I'll just let the video play out and crank the music. Peace out.